Alrighty. Hey guys, how's it going? Today is Monday, July 30th. Oh my gosh, one more day, guys, for Beat Your Best. I'm so excited. So tonight we're going to be talking about time management and just some helpful tips and tricks that I found really helped me, and I know help a lot of other people because I've heard other people say this in their calls or just talking to them. And I kind of based it around an entrepreneurial time management, not just lifetime management. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot to think of a team question. Okay, I actually have one, but I'm going to type it in. This is going to be for my own benefit. When you go to a wedding, what is the thing you look forward to most? So for me, it's definitely the people that are going to be there. I get really excited if I know that I'm going to see people that I haven't seen in a really long time. But and I also love the entertainment. When I could just dance all night, that's what I absolutely love. So Marissa, what's your favorite? I'm just gonna go down the row. What's your favorite thing that you look forward to for a wedding?
I like getting dressed up, the getting ready and being with the girls, all the girl talk and makeup before.
Mm-hmm. You're so good at it too. I look at your makeup. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can never do that.
It's not that hard. I really am not that skilled.
Well, you do it really, really well.
Thanks.
Miranda, what about you?
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. What was the question?
So when you go to a wedding, what's the thing you look forward to most?
The dancing and the wine.
And the wine. Good to know. We will have both at our wedding. I don't remember what wines there were, but I'll have to check. I'm doing my own research with you guys. Jo Marie, what about you? What do you look forward to the most?
The interaction, the dancing. You know me, I'm all over the place, laughing, joking, talking to everybody, dancing.
That's awesome.
I get all the grandma dancing.
Oh my gosh, if you could get my grandma dancing, props.
Trust me, I will get her to dance.
And then Jen, what about you?
I am all about the cake. You have to have a good cake for it to be a good wedding.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but my dad owns a Haagen-Dazs. He used to own 3 or 4, and now he owns 1. So, and Brian really wants a cookies and cream ice cream cake, so I might make my dad make our wedding cake.
Yeah, that's perfect. You cannot go wrong with ice cream cake. So.
Right? And I feel most weddings don't have ice cream cake, so it'd be something different. And then Cynthia, what about you?
I love seeing the bride in her dress.
Oh,
that's just such a thing.
So sweet.
There's just such a glow about the bride.
That's so nice. Well, I hope I don't disappoint on my wedding day. Show up looking like a hot mess express. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. I'm gonna mute you guys, but as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to interrupt me mid-sentence. Oh my gosh, I just don't like this. I am going to be so sore tomorrow. I can already feel it in my chest. Oh, Joel. I'm going to kill him.
Listen, that Idalis, she does not play. I'm she's killing me.
Who, Idalis? Oh, yeah. How is Les Mas going?
It's going pretty well. She is just very quick, and she does certain workout moves that I'm like, what? Can I actually do that? And then I laugh because the guys who are in there in her background, one of them, they're always complaining. When she has the females, they don't say nothing. It's the guys who's you hear them grunting and they're like, really? I'm they're so pathetic.
Yeah. So sometimes Brian works out before me, and I'm in the office and he's literally working right behind me. I just hear him cursing out. George, are you effing kidding me? And it's so funny just listen to him moan and groan about the workout, but he gets it done. Alrighty, I'm gonna mute everyone real quick. Let's just do this. Okay, so Congratulations to everyone on the board. Super, super awesome accomplishment if you're on here. So we have Jenny at 12, myself at 10, Brian at 6, Brooke at 6, which is awesome because this is her like wedding and honeymoon month. So I'm really, really proud of her. Doris is, at 4, Miranda's at 4, Jen's at 4. You guys are so close. You could do it. Offer an incentive today and tomorrow, and you can totally get your Success Club 6. Jo Marie is at 2, Jamie at 2, Christina at 2, and Katie at 2. You guys are so close. Like, I know there's only one day left, but you can totally do it. I've totally done it before. You just got to talk to the right people, offer the right incentives, and, like, you'll totally get it. And as you guys know, these have been the same announcements all month, but Lift 4 Mes de Mas are on sale, and if you get them this month, you actually get access, or well, if you got them before July 16th, you get access to the VIP test groups. And you could also get 2B Mindset special offers with those 2 programs too if you get them in a bundle. It's the Beat Your Best promotion right now, so if you beat your best Success Club points ever, depending on how much you beat them by, you get different medals. And then Super Saturday already passed. Okay, those aren't on sale anymore. Sorry, it's a little bit dated. Success Club reward update. So pretty much instead of getting a prize every month if you're hitting Success Club, you actually get a prize for hitting it 1 month, hitting it 3 months, and hitting it 6 months. So there's no like individual month by month prize now. And it only goes to the end of the year, and then they're going to do something else. So I'm really excited to see what they do. And you don't have to hit them consecutively to get those prizes. So say you hit like Success Club in July, September, and December, you'll get the 3-month prize because you don't have to do them consecutively. Some other announcements. The sneak peek to coaching starts tomorrow. So if you haven't already added your people, add them to this group. So pretty much in this group, if you've never added or been a part of it yourself, it's a few of the coaches on Team Confidence and I, we all run this group, and we post information all about coaching. So if you have anyone that's interested in coaching and wants to learn more, it's pretty much just like a tutorial of how to coach and like what we do exactly. So if people are thinking about it, like, oh, that's what it is. Like, I totally want to do this. We pretty much sell coaching for you. So if you have anyone that's interested, definitely get them in the group, tag them in the welcome video. Alexis explains how the whole group is going to be run. Super awesome. I have coaches join my team every single time we run a sneak peek just because they go through it all and they see what we do and they're like, wow, that's awesome. I totally want to do this too. Our next challenge group as a team starts August 20th. So if you're running your own, that's totally awesome. But if you want to run with me, I'm starting one on August 20th. That's when the prep week starts. So that's going to be a mixed challenge group. And of course, like, I'm going to keep the Lift Forward challenge group going until the end of the program. So there'll be 2 going on. And then the next book club starts August 6th. So if you guys have a book recommendation that you have been wanting to read, let me know, because I am going to do a poll tomorrow probably and just like put all the books that everyone's listed, and then we'll just all vote on one, and then whatever one gets picked, we'll do that for our next book club. And keep in mind too that if we don't get to your book this time, I'm going to keep running book clubs because it honestly keeps me really accountable, because sometimes personal development's the first thing I push off, which I really shouldn't. So this book club has helped me so much because I've actually been reading my book every single day. So I think it's really, really beneficial too, especially if you find that PD is one of those things that you kind of brush to the side when you get busy. All right, so now kind of getting into the time management tips, and these, like, I was reading these and I was like, oh my gosh, these are so true. So I'm going to kind of go through them quickly, but if you guys have any questions whatsoever, again, please feel free to stop me. So when you're managing your time or scheduling out your time, you have to set goals the right way. So you have to set goals based on your targets. So what I like to say is, if you have a goal, reverse engineer your goal. So say you want to hit Success Club by the 15th of the month. So what does that mean? So you have to hit, or you have to sign a new client. Either you have to sign 2 or 1 new client for the first 2 weeks of the month, pretty much. So then how many invites is that going to take? How many new conversations is that going to take? So kind of reverse engineer your goal, and then block out chunks of time to do those tasks that is going to get you to that goal at the end. Find a good time management system. So for me, calendar blocks work so well. Literally go into Google Calendar or into the iPhone calendar. I forgot what it's called. Apple Calendar, whatever it comes, iCal, I think it's called on your iPhone if you have an iPhone. And you just block out chunks of time. So like in the beginning, when I first wake up in the morning, my first chunk of time is going through or reading my personal development. And then it goes from there to following up with everyone on Streak. And then I do my workout. I have time to shower. I literally block out time to shower and like get ready. And then I have time to go to work. And like, you know, I have my commute time, my time at work, and then after work, what I do, and after that. So it's really, really important to block out your time, because that's when you know, like you have time designated for a certain task. So I know a lot of people, including myself, like in the past, I would just kind of go from a to-do list, but it wasn't very organized because all I did was like, I was like, oh, I have 15 minutes. Like, which one should I do? Should I do this task? Should I do that? By the time I decided what task to do, like 5 to 10 minutes, it went by and I only had 5 minutes left. So it's really important to block out your time and on your calendar, say exactly what you're going to do during that time. I promise you, and it'll relieve so much stress because you know exactly what to do. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to plan for anything. You know what's coming up. So audit your time. So if you find that you're not getting enough done and that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time for XYZ, I'm way too busy, I challenge you guys to audit your time for 7 days straight. Literally write down how much time you spend on each task each day, how much time you're spending going to the bathroom, how much time you spend washing your dishes, how much time you spend watching Netflix, how much time you spend working on your business, how much time you spend commuting. Literally block it, like not block out your time, but write down your time. And after 7 days, kind of just see like, where are you spending the majority of your time? Of course, like it's going to be sleeping, but you know, for the rest of the time, journal, and like also how much time are you spending scrolling on social media when it's like really not doing anything for you? Was it wasted? Was it well spent? Really, really break it down and see where you can pick up more time to work on more productive things, or just schedule your time differently so that you get more things done. I've done this before, like when I first started coaching, and I remember that I was just like, I scrolled social media way too much. It was wasting like an hour a day scrolling social media, because it adds up, like 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there, 15 minutes there, it does add up. So doing that really, really will help you kind of figure out where you're doing well and where you need to improve. So spend your mornings on MITs, which means most important tasks. So Mark Twain, I have this quote in here because it relates to a PD book, once said, if your job is to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the bigger one first. His point, tackle your biggest tasks in the morning. These are your most important tasks of the day. Accomplish those and give you the biggest momentum to help you sail through the rest of the day. So for me, my frogs, and I know that sounds silly, but like, I'm one of those people that, yeah, like I've gotten into a routine of working out, but I technically don't love working out. So I get it done first thing in the morning. So I don't have excuses for the rest of the day not to get it done. And I also, going through my Streak is another frog that I just really don't like doing because it's time consuming, but it has to get done. So I always do that first thing in the morning, so I don't have any excuses not to get it done for the rest of the day. And if I have any kind of like huge projects or important tasks that I know I'm going to dread, I just get them done right then and there, like first thing, just because I know that if I push them off, I'm going to keep pushing them off and keep pushing them off. So if you need a PD book that you kind of find that you're procrastinating on things or you're not getting things done on time, Eat That Frog is an amazing PD book that helps you so much with time management and kind of just like knocking out the most important things first that are kind of maybe more time consuming or things that you don't necessarily like doing. Because let's be real, in a business, even though you are passionate about it and you do love it, there are tasks with any business that you are not going to enjoy doing. So I'd recommend kind of doing those first. And they're usually the tests that like you need to do to be successful. So definitely schedule those first thing in the morning. Okay, follow the 80-20 rule. So pretty much in a nutshell, this means focus on the 20% of work that produces 80% of the results. So that is starting new conversations and inviting and following up. So these tasks, like when you're just talking to people one-on-one, these are the most important things that is going to move 80% of your business. I would also say that posting and getting your workout done and being a product of the product is like literally focus on your vital behaviors, and that is what will fuel 80% of your results. So your personal development, your working out, drinking Shakeology, posting on social media, and building relationships and inviting people to the opportunity. That is what is going to produce 80% of your results. And honestly, it shouldn't take too much time. It'll take 20% of your time like throughout the day. And if you have to meticulously track and analyze what you're doing, do it. I have Excel spreadsheets on Excel spreadsheets, like trying to figure out what's the best way to do this, what's the best way to do that. So it's really important that if you feel that you're not making the most of your time, or if something's not paying off the way you would like it to, track it and see what you can kind of tweak to make it work better. Oh, this is something I love too. Schedule email response time. So I tell my boss this at work all the time. Like, it drives me crazy. I'll be in his office talking to him, and he will like go and answer an email while I'm talking to him. And I'm like, dude, do that again and I'll kill you. I'm just kidding. I don't say that to my boss. But I'm like, Keith, you should just, and it distracts him so much. Like, he has huge proposals to write, and he is constantly like back and forth because he has a dual screen monitor. He's like on this monitor answering an email, then going back to his like proposal. And I'm like, dude, you are distracting yourself so much, and you are wasting so much time answering emails. I'm like, can you just set aside like 10 minutes on the top of every hour and like answer your emails then? And I'm like, no one's going to die because you don't answer their email within the first 5 minutes. And he knows I'm right, and he keeps doing it anyway. He's one of those people, he has to like figure it out for himself until he'll listen. But guys, schedule time to email or to respond to, again, it doesn't have to just be email. It could be responsive text messages, responsive Instagram messages, Facebook messages, whatever social media platform you're using. Schedule time just to answer those messages. Don't be answering them as you're working on something else, because, and I'll get into this a little later, there's no such thing as multitasking. If you go from one task to another, you're wasting time and you're distracting yourself, and your core focus is not where it needs to be. So make sure that you really do schedule out your response times. Like, and if you guys know this too, like, so I don't answer, like, if you text me, unless I'm like already on my phone, like responding to people, I don't answer you guys right away. And that's like, not because I don't love you. Of course I do, and I want to answer you, but I'm either working on something else, or it's not that time of day where I'm like block scheduled to answer all of my messages. Eliminate bad habits. So again, if you're doing that 7-day journal of like where you are spending your time, you can see exactly where your bad habits are. So is it like binge watching Netflix? Is it excessively searching social media, playing games, going out frequently to drink with friends, and so on? So if you find that you have these bad habits like intertwined, I'm totally guilty of Instagram stories. I don't know what it is about them. Like, usually I can just like, I don't get distracted by social media, but once I start going down that wormhole of Instagram stories, like there's no coming back. And I like literally have to catch myself. And I wish there was like, because on my Facebook, I have a plugin on my Gmail, and it blocks my news feed. So I don't see anything on Facebook, which is really nice because I never get distracted by it. I wish there was one of those for Instagram stories, because I just like, I don't know what it is about them, but that's my biggest time waster, and I know it. So like, as soon as I get into it, I can just like kind of stop myself, unless I'm like taking a break, which I shouldn't be taking a break by watching Instagram stories. But anyway, you get the point. Eliminate bad habits where you find yourself wasting time, and take that time and use it towards something productive. All right, take frequent breaks when working. This is another thing I'm really guilty of not doing. And I like was writing these down and like researching this stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know why I don't do this. But you're supposed to take a break every single hour. So it suggests that you work for 52 minutes and then you break for 17. I kind of like to work for 50 minutes and then break for like 10 minutes. So that's kind of what I do at work. I try to go to the bathroom, or I'll like take a walk around the building. But definitely take frequent breaks. And it says if you're an entrepreneur working for yourself, this is crucial. It's easy to run on fumes and not even know it. Keep your mental, emotional, and physical states at peak levels by breaking frequently. And this is so true. This actually happened today to me at work. Don't tell anyone this, but I was like working on wedding planning at work today because I didn't really have like too much going on, and I got myself so stressed and like just freaking out, and I didn't take a break, and I just like ran on that anxiety for the whole day. And if I would have just taken a break and just gone around the block for 10 minutes, like meditated for a couple minutes, whatever it was, it would have made me feel so much better. So and I try to do this when I work from home. I actually set timers on my phone. So like if I sit down to work on something, I will set my timer to go off like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and then I'll get up and I'll like go for a walk around the block. It doesn't have to be long, 5-10 minutes, and it just like clears your head. It gets you re-energized. And you can even just like get up from your desk and start doing jumping jacks, like get your blood pumping, get your brain kind of more engaged and everything. So it's really important to take breaks, and it refocuses you and makes you even more productive when you come back. It actually is, when you work for really long periods of time, you get less and less productive. But if you take those breaks, it kind of re-energizes you. And sometimes, honestly, my breaks are taking a 10 to 15 minute nap. Like I don't know, my body needs it sometimes, and I listen to it, and sleeping just like literally helps my brain reset, and I come back feeling refreshed. Meditate or exercise every morning. So I know a lot of you work out in the morning, some of you work out in the evenings, and if you do work out in the evenings, try to meditate in the morning because it sets your day up for so much success, because you are clearing your mind first thing in the morning and doing something for yourself first thing in the morning. And it actually helps you better manage your time because it gives you balance. And it also cuts the toxins out of your life, and you get serious by doing this. And watch as your energy, stamina, and mental focus takes a drastic shift. So I used to be one of those people that was like, I don't need to meditate. Like, that's for hippies. Like, I'm not a hippie, but I'm like totally hippie at heart. Meditating helps so much, and like you can even do it on your break. So like, say you work for 50 minutes and you take that 10-minute break, you can meditate. Thanks, babe. You can meditate on your breaks, and it again like resets your mind, helps you refocus. And also, it's just like, I was actually reading a study the other day at work about meditation and how it just like makes you more productive, like a better human being. Like, it just helps every single aspect of your life. So make to-do lists in the evening for the next day. I actually have a notebook. Well, I ripped out a page, but I have a notebook next to me at all times. So if there's something I don't get to during the day, I will write it down so that I know for the next day exactly what to do. I don't have to sit here and kind of think, oh, what do I have to do today? Like, I already know I have a running list of things that I have to do. And it helps so much because then, again, eat that frog. You can do those nasty things that you really don't want to do first. And it really just helps kind of build up the momentum for the day, get the hard things out of the way, and you don't have to spend time just kind of thinking, should I do that today or should I do that tomorrow? Or you have a list of exactly what you need to do. Let's see. Find inspiration when you're feeling lackluster. So with any business, including your just day job, you might feel lackluster every once in a while or bored. And I know that happens to me. Like, I'm one of those people that needs like constant stimulation or else I get bored. So when that happens, I try to find something that's going to really spark my inspiration again or motivate me to do something. So I usually watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast, read a chapter of one of my personal development books. And it's hard to stay on track with your, what does it say? It's hard to stay on track with your time when you lose that drive. It's like, yeah, so it just like really keeps you moving forward and moving towards your goals. And this is why personal development is one of our vital behaviors, because that's going to be our inspiration when we're feeling lackluster. I know there's a few books that have like really kicked my butt into gear when I was kind of feeling like meh. And I actually noticed that when I don't do personal development is when I start feeling lackluster like all the time. So that's why it's so important to keep up with that. Oh my God, this is my favorite one of the entire night. Turn off all of your social media app alerts. Like, I challenge you to do that right now, right after this call. Turn them all off. I don't have any notifications on my phone. I don't have anything for email, Instagram, Facebook. I have nothing except for text messages and phone calls. This has helped so much because when you're trying to work on something and you hear ding, ding, or like it vibrates, it is so distracting. I promise you guys, if you're blocking out time to answer messages, you're not going to miss anything. So just make sure when you just turn off all of your notifications, it clears so much headspace, and it helps so much when you're trying to focus on things because you're not constantly distracted by all these notifications popping up on your phone and feeling you have to answer it right then and there. Turn them all off. Set aside time to answer everything during your day, and I promise nothing will be missed, and you will feel so much more clear-headed. Alexis, like, drilled this into my brain when I first started coaching, and it's like one of the best things she's ever taught me because I was one of those people that I'm like, I need to get back to everyone right away or else they're going to hate me. No, their life will go on. Your life will go on. It'll be great. I promise you, turn off your social media app alerts. It'll help you so much. And like, when I say I turn off everything, like the only thing that comes up again is text messages, phone calls, and what's it called? Calendar alerts, because I would be lost without my calendar. And my phone is always on silent. You will never hear my phone ring because, again, like when I'm working, I have my phone next to me, but it's face down so I can't see anything and there's no noise coming out of it so it won't distract me. Declutter and organize. So I don't know about you guys, but I need like a clean space to work. And if it's not clean, and like even my apartment, like when it's not clean, I feel like, oh, well, I got to go clean the bathrooms and I got to do the laundry. Actually, just kidding. My handsome fiance does the laundry right there. I said, you do the laundry. But like when I don't have a clean space, it really bothers me. And I feel like I have to clean it. So declutter your life, everything around your workspace, and organize. So that way, you know, it's all there. You don't have to worry about cleaning anything while you're doing work. I remember this, like when I used to be in grad school, like I wouldn't do my grad school homework until I cleaned the house like 3 times. So it's like really, really important to declutter your life, and it'll create so much more headspace, and it just helps so much. And again, you don't have to, like when you declutter and organize, you don't have to do everything all at once, but start small, like organize your desk, then organize your office, then organize your apartment. So it's just start small and work your way there. And some of you I know are already naturally organized, like type A people. And especially for you, when there is clutter, you kind of notice more so than the average Joe. And you're just like, oh my God, I can't focus because like all these books are just, they're not in alphabetical order. Okay, this is another thing that I've really struggled with too, but I've learned to get a lot better at it, is learn to delegate and or outsource. So I'm the kind of person that I'm like, if I want stuff done, I got to do it myself. But that's not the case. Like some of the stuff, of course, like I have to do myself, but there's other stuff I can delegate. And for those of you that can delegate. I'm telling you, it's one of the best things that I've learned to do. And I still have a hard time with it for sure. It's like one of those things where I feel bad asking people to do things or whatever it is. Like I tell, like guys, when I first lived with Brian, I didn't delegate anything. Like I did everything myself, and it was one of the hardest times I went through mentally. Like I was anxious and depressed because I just didn't have any time for myself, and I thought I had to do it all. I thought I had to do the laundry. I thought I had to cook. I thought I had to clean. I had to do the like meal prep for everyone. I thought I had to do everything. And when I finally started to ask Brian for help, my life changed. And of course he's like happy to help me. So if you have someone in your life that's like happy to help you and has the time, please delegate. I'm telling you, it helps so much. And like focus on the important tasks now and get your work done now with the business. So that way it'll free up time later and you'll have more time. And even like I told Brian, as soon as we have like can afford it, I want to hire someone to like cook for us and clean for us, because those are 2 tasks that do nothing for us. Like, of course, it keeps the house clean and whatever, but they do nothing for us and don't move our life forward. So if we can delegate that and spend time doing stuff we want to do instead of cleaning and cooking and doing all the errands and everything, that'd be so amazing. So learn to delegate and outsource. Again, and like we're here as your team too. So if you need to delegate something to us, please feel free. Like I'm here to help all of you guys, and like I want to help you. So if you need to delegate something to me, please do. And like we're all here for each other. So don't feel like you have to do it all. There's other people out there that can totally help you. And there's people online that you can like pay to help you. Like even, I know Alexis has what's it called? She has like a little, oh my gosh, I really can't think of the word right now. But she has someone that helps her with her business. Like she delegates tasks, and it's just like little things like making graphics, scheduling team calls, making the team call PowerPoints. Like she has someone that does that for her, which is really nice because she could spend time on other important things and helping her coaches and her clients. Establish routines and stick to them as much as possible. So this is kind of what I was talking about with the blocking out time in your calendar, is figure out a routine, figure out what works best for you and stick to it, because, and of course life's going to throw you curveballs. Like it's not going to be the same every single day, but if you have a routine and you stick to it, you don't have to question what you're doing each day. You already know. And say something's moved back a little bit or something has to be moved forward a little bit. That's okay, because you already know your routine. You know what can kind of slide or move this way or move that way. So it's really, really important to have a routine and really stick to it as much as possible, because that's just going to provide consistency in your life and make sure that you don't really miss anything. Get in the habit of setting time limits for tasks. Oh, this is a really good one too. So when for example, like when I do personal development, I set aside like 15 to 20 minutes, and I will literally set a timer. I'll put a timer on my phone, put it down, and I'll just go start reading, taking notes. And that way I don't spend too long on a task or too short on a task. So it's really, and it kind of is like a game too. Like for me, I'm like, I got to get all this done in 20 minutes. Like I can do it. And like you kind of race the clock, and it actually makes you more productive because you're racing against time. And again, like if you already have like time blocks set out in your calendar, you know exactly how much time to spend, and just setting that like timer kind of just like puts the pressure on and makes you more productive. So setting time limits for stuff that, and it can even be for stuff that you really don't want to do, so that it makes you get it done quicker. Be sure your systems are organized. So this is something, again, kind of like declutter and organize yourself or your life. So make sure your systems are organized, whether it be like your challenge groups, your files, how you have everything saved. So I have everything saved in my Google Drive, like everything's really organized and labeled, and like, you know, there's subfolders, all that stuff, so you guys can all find it. I have like the team page organized with the files. I have all my challenge groups organized on the side of my Facebook. So like everything is really organized, and of course things are going to change and you're going to implement new things. But as time goes on, you will just learn. Like when I remember when I first started, like Alexis was running 2 groups, and I was like, I don't know how she runs 2 challenge groups. I'm running 8 right now. And like if I wasn't organized, I would have no idea how to do that. So like start small, organize, and the more you do it, the easier it gets and the less time consuming it gets. So if you take the time now to keep to make systems, number one, and keep them organized, you're going to save yourself a lot of time in the long run. This is another one that I really struggle with, is learn to say no. So it's okay to say no. I was one of those people, and still am a little bit of a pushover, and I would want to say yes to every single person that asked me to do anything. I was always like, oh yeah, like, let me do that for you. Let me do this for you. But guys, I promise you, when you learn to say no, it changes the game. So, and it doesn't even have to be no to like fun things that you want to do. It could be like, say someone asks you like, oh, do you want to go to this art show? Like for me personally, I have no interest in art. Like maybe I'm a bad human being for that. But like if someone told me to ask me to go to an art show, my first instinct would be like, say yes, just to make them happy, you know? But I have no interest in going to an art show. I'm going to go there and be bored out of my mind. And I have other things that I should be doing instead of going to this art show. So saying no, if that person's really your friend, they're not going to be offended if you say no. I know if I wanted to bring someone to like up for a hike and they hated the outdoors, I would feel so bad if I dragged them on a hike and they hated every second of it. So learn to say no. It's okay. You don't have to do everything everyone asks you. And just ask yourself, like, prioritize your time or prioritize what you're saying yes and no to. But I promise you, saying no it's a skill, honestly, because a lot of us just want to say yes and they want to people please. But at the same time, you have to kind of be a little bit selfish and say, hey, you know, this isn't going to fulfill me. This isn't going to move my life forward in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to respectfully decline. I hope you guys have an awesome time. And maybe next time I'll go with you, kind of thing. Oh, this is important too. Jo Marie, sleep at least 7 to 8 hours a night. Jo Marie sleeps like 2 hours a night. I don't know how she functions. But sleep is so important, and so many studies have proven that you need 7 to 8 hours to be like a functioning person. And like, I don't know, if I get less than 7, even less than 8, I'm like a zombie. I don't know how people. I remember in college, my friends would live off of like 5, and I was like, I don't know if you're young, but I was always a grandma and like always needed my 8 hours of sleep. So it's super important. It also like keeps your bodies functioning well. It keeps your minds functioning properly. And you'll know if you're not getting enough. Your body will tell you. Like even for me last night, I probably got around, I don't know, probably like 7 hours, and I was a zombie this morning. Like I had to take it. I literally had to go down to my car during my lunch break and like take a 15-minute power nap because I was just like, I can't function right now. So don't underestimate the value of sleep. It's so important. Another thing is get an early start. So I know a lot of us want to procrastinate, but I promise you, if you start early in the morning, you get so much done before the day actually starts that you feel like once your day starts, or like once everyone else starts functioning, you've already gotten everything done, and it feels amazing. Like I love waking up early and getting so much stuff done before I even have to go to work. And like granted, I don't have to leave my house until like 9, but still, like I get so much done in the morning. Like I get up around like 5:30ish, and then I have 3.5 hours to like crank out work, do my workout, shower, eat breakfast with Brian. Like it's so nice. And if you struggle with mornings and you want to be more productive in the morning, a really great PD book for that is The Miracle Morning. It's seriously awesome, and you guys should all read it. It's a really great book. And then devote your this is another one, really good one. Devote your entire focus to the task at hand. So again, there's no such thing as multitasking. If you're multitasking, you're doing nothing to your maximum ability, and you'll just feel like gross. Like I know when I multitask, I start feeling really stressed and anxious because I know I'm not completing either thing to the best of my ability, and it like freaks me the F out. I don't know what it is, but focus on the task at hand and just get rid of all other distractions. Like I know sometimes it's hard, like you're in a busy office or whatever it is, and this could just go from like day-to-day life. It doesn't have to be business oriented, but really just focus on the task at hand. And I promise you, you'll finish it way quicker. You'll finish it better than you would if you were working on other things. And this is another thing. You don't want to be distracted by all those emails and alerts, so turn all that stuff off. Just focus on what you're doing, and I promise you it'll be like so much better, and you'll feel so much more accomplished when it's done. You're like, oh, great, like I finished that, it's done. Like I can check it off my list instead of like dragging it on and answering things and keep going with that. It'll be amazing. Alrighty, that all being said, I hope that was really helpful. I know these tips really helped me when I was like looking through them. Like I already know them, but then I was like, why am I not doing these? So, and I know some of this stuff is like straightforward. You're like, well, duh, Danielle, like of course. But I know you're saying like duh, but then ask yourself, do you actually do all these things? And I promise it'll just help you with overall like stress levels too, just being more organized with your time. So I'm going to check out the chat really quick. Oh, okay. Awesome. So does anyone have any questions? I'm going to unmute y'all really quick. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about anything?
I let go of the trans break and always see them flying beside me.
I feel like that was a pretty straightforward topic, but you never know. Look, Brian, salad.
I know for a fact I have to organize myself a little bit more when it comes to the whole business side, like getting my stuff organized, the script and everything, because sometimes I'm, oh my God, where's everything? I need to answer this. So I've been forcing myself at least 15 minutes a day just to get myself organized in that aspect. So that way in the future, I can just be like, you know, copy and paste done.
Yeah, it's definitely like once you start organizing like chunks of time just to answer messages, I promise you your life gets so much easier and you don't feel stressed like you have to answer anything right away. Like at first it feels kind of weird because you're like, you feel like you're almost ignoring the person, but I promise you like they won't know. They won't care.
Yeah, especially now that I've been doing 50 invites, now I'm getting a lot of back, you know, people messaging me back about it, and I'm like a little bit overwhelmed when I see all those messages like on Instagram, because I did the notification, which I love, so I'm not stressed out, and during the work I'm not distracted hearing the bing and the, you know, vibration of my phone. But when I go to Instagram, it becomes a little bit overwhelming. Seeing all, it's exciting, but at the same time like a little overwhelming.
Yeah, of course, especially when you see that many messages, you're like, whoa. But I promise you, if you set aside time, you'll answer them way quicker because you'll just bang them out like one after another and then be done with them. It honestly takes me like every day. The first thing I do besides like personal development is I answer all of my messages I didn't get to the day before. And it probably takes me like 10 or 15 minutes. And like I'm done with all of them. And there's like, you know, usually like 40. And you would think it would take a lot longer, but because you're just such in a rhythm and you're only focusing on that, it goes by way quicker.
They're from Canada. Of course they're polite. Oh, sorry. Side conversation.
That's okay. I figured.
The disadvantage to having multiple people in the room with me.
Yeah. I have a cat in the room with me. What are you doing? What's she doing? She looks sleepy. Any other cues about anything? If not, I'll let y'all go and I'll eat my salad. We're all good. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, no, I'm not gonna let you go yet.
Selfie.
All right, let's do this. Ooh, okay. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna brighten my screen a little bit. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, so cute. Oh, wow, this is really great. Oh, does anyone else keep their screen brightness at like 2?
I get migraines if I don't.
Yeah, you get like headaches, right? If it's like really bright.
Yeah, one of the girls that I follow on Instagram like bought these glasses that like you're supposed to wear, and they like delete like blue tones or something weird that like causes headaches. So I really want to buy those because like I even get sick when it's at like a dark brightness, like it causes a migraine. So I'm like about to buy those glasses so I can like actually work on my computer for more than an hour and not get sick.
Yeah, do it. Those sound, I think Alexis might have a pair of those. You should ask her too. They're like yellow, right? They have like a yellow tint to them.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those before. I need to get myself a pair too because my eyes, I don't know if you can see right now, but they're like super bloodshot from like looking at a computer screen all day.
That makes me sick.
Yeah, I'll have to look into those too. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for hopping on. I hope you all have a great night, and we'll chat soon.
Bye.
Bye.